Healthy Mind, Healthy Life listeners. It is that end of year season where everyone's doing year in review. Like it's a corporate quarterly earnings call. New Year energy, it can feel cozy and magical. But then it can also feel like pressure, comparison, low key emotional hangovers. So today, we are doing something different. We are talking about achievement, fulfillment, and what actually drives us. Because success is cute, but peace is the real flex. Listeners, welcome back to Healthy Mind, Healthy Life. I'm your host, Sana, and today we are digging into a topic that hits hard this time of year. When the calendar flips, people start setting goals like they're trying to win a trophy. Bigger title, bigger money, bigger everything. But then somehow, we are still tired, still anxious, and still asking, is this it? So, listeners, this episode is for the high performers, the recovering people pleasers, the ambitious introverts, the burnt out leaders, and honestly, anyone who's ever hit a goal and felt weirdly empty after. And my guest today brings a perspective I love because it's not loud, it's not hypey, it's practical, calm, and a little challenging. He has spent years as an executive in the pharmaceutical industry, leading global teams and mentoring emerging leaders. Early on, he thought ambition had to be loud and competitive. Then he discovered a totally different lane. What's that? Quiet ambition, meaningful success without burnout or self promotion. So, listeners, please welcome my incredible guest, Patrick Kamba. Patrick, welcome to Healthy Mind, Healthy Life, and I'm really glad to have you here with us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Super, super. Okay, a quick heads up for all of our listeners. This is not going to be a grind harder pep talk. We are going to pull apart some myths. We'll talk about ego, identity, influence, burnout, fulfillment, and I'll push a bit respectfully because that's where the good stuff lives. Okay, so Patrick, to begin with, I mean, let's start first with your career. Like early in your career, you believed ambition had to be loud. Something similarly, which I also thought, um, like dominating the room. You have to be in limelight, um, competing nonstop. What did that version of ambition cost you, like mentally, emotionally, or relationally?
So thank you for this question. So yes, indeed, at the beginning of my career, I was convinced that it was so great to be a performer and even introducing myself as being a performer
Hmm.
because I was loud. I wanted the promotion that I thought I was deserving because I was ticking all the boxes. But then the price is energy, is always being in a kind of lobbying, requesting things. And at the end of the day, you may start to be a bit toxic because I saw some people around me taking time to ask, shout, being loud because of bonuses, promotions, performance review. And actually, I was not aligned with this. I started to feel that I did not want to become like those people. I did not want to be with them because it's toxic. You know, you put your energy, your frustration around and you are just spreading everywhere. So it's costing you a lot. That's why I took a completely different approach without knowing at that time that it would be quite ambition. It was just the first steps. But I decided to stay a bit calmer, ask for explanations, discussing with human resource departments, and say, what's happening here? What am I missing here? Can you explain to me? And guess what? People were really open to explain to me what was going on. They were more open. They were more quiet and calmer, of course, because I did not bring any negative energy. And I started to see that it might be also feasible and even more valuable to take this kind of approach.
Mm. And because this goes against the conventional norms, because
Yes.
Similarly, what you had described, like this kind of a mental picture I had when I started with my career, that you have to always either be loud or make sure that you get to speak, or you have to be like in the good books and always in the limelight so that you get attention from your seniors or from your peers. And then there's something called office politics also, Patrick. Like, people say that if you do not know how to be a part of it or how to navigate that, then people will completely, destroy you. You will be like ignored. Nobody would know you, even if you're doing the best work out there. Um, what do you think about this? Should uh,
Yeah.
everybody uh, just kind of be a part of that necessary evil, or there's a huge kind of a systemic shift or mindset shift needed here?
So now I may surprise you, but I'm convinced that first, office politics happen and exist everywhere. That's the first. And the second, these are just the rules. So you have to play by the rules to move forward, that's for sure. But the good news is that you're not obliged to be somebody else. You can still remain authentic and find a way to navigate in those office politics. A bit
Mm.
more than 15 years ago, I followed a training on strategic influencing. And the first thing the trainer told us is politics happen at the moment you have more than 3 or 4 people. Then we were all shocked, like, come on, we don't have any politics here. He said, yes. To give you a basic example, imagine you want to get married tomorrow.
Mm.
Haven't you ever heard about, if this person comes, I'm not coming? Or I don't want to stay and sit at the same table of XYZ. Why did you invite this person? I would love to have this person invited. Isn't it politics? Okay? So my point is politics exists, but then you have to adapt and find your way, build alliances, but of course, while you staying and being authentic with yourself.
That's a very, very balanced approach, Patrick, I must say, because uh, it really kind of helped me be clear that, okay, sometimes instead of, just trying to,
Yes.
or thinking about even trying to change this complete, the entire system, I believe the change has to first start from ourselves. It has to origin from ourselves.
Yes.
Small changes consistently.
Yes, it's about step by step, and that's really the case. And you are really bringing a good point here. Let's
Mm.
start by exploring ourselves. What do we really want to achieve? What ambition do we have? And is it really our ambition or the ambition of brothers, sisters, parents, uncles, friends? At the end, to be authentic, at first, you need to know who you are, and then you will be authentic.
Exactly. Exactly. No doubt in there. Um, Now, you mentioned something quite ambition. So if you can define that in plain language for our listeners, and
Yeah.
like what it is not, because quiet, this word, it can sound like play small to some people. Yeah.
Yes. So I like to say that uh, quiet ambition, even if it sounds counterintuitive, because of course ambition is expected to be shiny, loud, and etc. On the opposite, quiet doesn't mean invisible, doesn't mean muted ambition, okay?
Mm.
Quiet is more calm, respectful, confident, okay, in the sense that you can still be ambitious and achieve great things, be impactful, but that doesn't mean that you have to be loud, noisy, being hustling, pushing competition outside because you want to dominate the room and the conversation. That's why I'm talking about quiet ambition.
Hmm. That actually, makes sense. But I believe this definitely uh, needs a lot of inner work here. And what are two behaviors that signal quite ambition in the workplace, Patrick? Like, along with that, what are two behaviors that look like ambition, but they're actually insecurity in disguise?
Okay. So the quiet part of the ambition is being humble, being respectful of the others and the others' opinions, is asking for feedback, asking for questions, bringing ideas, and always in a collaborative and peaceful way. On the opposite, insecurity is let me finish this. Can I speak now? I believe, I think, this is my opinion. We should do this. Okay, that's really the difference. And of course, the cost is what? When you are over ambitious, when you are too loud, too in the I want to run the show, people will start to stay away from you or be reluctant to share with you some information. Like you will ask for feedback or input, people will stay silent because they know that they will not be listened to, they will not be respected. That's why they will not bring their opinion. And actually, the real danger is that you are missing potentially important information.
Hmm. Basically, if I'm approachable or not.
Yes, yes, exactly. Yes.
Mm. And this distinction, it's huge, because some people are not ambitious, but moreover, like anxious with a LinkedIn profile, and others are quietly building influence without the constant performance.
Yes. So being quite ambitious requires also a long-term vision. It's not about I am in this position today and tomorrow I want absolutely to be promoted to get a bigger title and all of this. It's about building day to day via alliances, but via also basic support of others without always looking for your own interest. Basic thing, you have a team worker, a collaborator, he or she is in trouble, has challenges with his work or her work. You propose to help, just to help this person. This is quiet ambition also. On the opposite, you help this person, but you may public and visible to everybody that this person has finished his task or her task thanks to you. I'm sorry, that's not quiet ambition. That's just ego because you want to say that you saved this person.
Exactly, exactly. It's like more boisterous than genuinely having that intent to help that person. Yeah, yeah. And uh, Patrick, I want to bring in the achievement addiction here.
Yes.
When success, it becomes like a coping mechanism. It kind of becomes a loop here. Like some people don't pursue success for joy; they pursue it to avoid feeling unworthy, unseen, or out of control, and that really, really puts a lot of pressure, especially on their mental health, and then directly kind of manifesting into their physical, spiritual health as well. How do you tell the difference between healthy ambition and achievement as a coping mechanism?
So, healthy ambition again starts by exploring yourself in the sense that if you have your own ambition, you set your goals and you say, okay, if I deliver this and this, I will be very happy, I will be at that level.
Mm.
Fine. The problem is the day after you already are looking for something else, then it might be a problem. And that's why you may feel under pressure consistently because it never ends. That's why in my book, for example, I start with the first chapters where I explain that we should start by exploring ourselves and be sure that we can measure when we are arrived. Because if we measure, and we can measure actually when we are arrived before starting, we know that when we arrive, we can compare and say, yes, that's it. That's great. I made it. And not, I'm not sure if I made it, so I have to keep on pushing. Yeah, but for what? That's the trap.
Mm. Mm. And Patrick, if someone listening, they realize that, wow, okay, so I have been actually using achievement to regulate my emotions. Um, Maybe you can maybe share this along with any practical, like, uh, uh, tool or something, that you did when you realized, like, what's one practical first step that they can take this week, something realistic, not like a major life overhaul.
So the first is maybe the last success people had, like a big success, and they have to, of course, define what it is. I like to say that they could even offer themselves something to remind them that they have been successful. Basic example, I am wearing a watch from a certain brand that I have decided to offer to myself when I released my book. So I'm wearing this every day, and it reminds me that, yes, okay, I wrote a book. It's not about, now that I wrote a book, I have to do marketing, I have to do promotion campaigns, and etc. etc. It's, hold on, I wrote a book, and I have something to remind me I wrote a book. That allows me also from time to time to be much more mindful of what I have done. Because the trap in this world is the noise, crowd, and the speed. You finish to deliver something, you have to go to the next. And it's about slowing down and just acknowledging what you have done.
Hmm. And I really love it because awareness without action, it becomes another performance. Like, look at me, I'm self-aware.
Yes,
But then are you asking yourself that, are you well or not?
yes, yes. Because this race for permanent, consistent success will exhaust you sooner or later. So it's good to just pause, appreciate what you have done, because at the end, it will increase your self esteem. Because if you are spending your time looking for new successes, then what? What about your self esteem? Where are you? That is also a question that you could ask. What's your real value if you keep on looking for additional successes?
Hmm. Hmm. And before we conclude, I think this is such a kind of, brilliant um topic to think about. Like, it's about fulfillment. Like,
Yes.
some people say, Patrick, that the fulfillment, it's a luxury concept. For example, at some point of time in my life, I did not even care about whether this is fulfilling or not. It was just to pay my bills, to survive somehow. Like, and then others say chasing fulfillment, it can make you restless and never satisfied. So is fulfillment the goal, or is it a byproduct of living in alignment?
Ah,
And if it is a byproduct,
thank you. That's really a great question. And while I was listening and with my own opinion, I would say it's a byproduct. We should not, in a way, target so much fulfillment, because then it's, I like to say, it's almost philosophical. So, that's why is one day you wake up and you discover that you are fulfilled, and not, I have a checklist and tick the box to say I am fulfilled. You know, it's like happiness at the end. Happiness is really how you feel, and normally you may be happy and you have to pause to see that you are happy. You don't have to do things and say, okay, if I get a promotion, if I get a new car, if I get a new laptop and etc., I will be happy. Then if it does the case, then you are in trouble, because it may never be enough. You should be happy in a way when you are going to the car dealer, to the IT store to buy your laptop, etc. You should already be happy when you're entering this shop and stores. You should not be in a way happy when you pay. You should be happy already before. Like, you wake up in the morning, you know that in 2 hours you will go with a friend to a car dealer to try a new car, to go and pick up your new car, buy a laptop or a watch, or etc. You should already be happy. You don't need to be happy when you put it on you. You should be happy already in advance. That's the concept of the byproduct, and as you are saying, it should be a byproduct.
Hmm. 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 I mean, it's it's okay if I did not get to buy the watch today itself. Maybe I can try it tomorrow or next week. Yeah. But at least I got that opportunity, that time, and I was in good health and in good mind and good life that I went out with my friends and I got to check out some watches. Maybe I'll buy it tomorrow.
Yes, you can take her for a watch, or you can very basically go with specific friends because you may have a history or memory with them. Go to a
Mm.
special restaurant and just make a picture when you have your food and say, "Hey, look where we are compared to 1 year ago." And you take this picture and then you share with all of them. That's also a basic, simple way to also be fulfilled because, as you are saying, you are in a good health and it may not always be the case. So it's good to appreciate and not say, I am in a good health. No, now I have to go and run for a marathon.
Yeah. So, Patrick, before we wrap up this lovely conversation, if listeners they would like to connect with you, what it will be the easiest way?
So they can connect to me via LinkedIn, especially if your audience is really feeling that it's connected with what they are doing today, feeling that they can do much more, but they don't want to play the ego game. So I'm there, Patrick Kamba on LinkedIn. I'm available, and I will be happy to discuss further with them.
Super. And you also have your book, Quite
Yes.
Ambitious, so how can listeners get access to that?
So yes, my book Quiet Ambition is available on Amazon and on a lot of platforms. I mean, Amazon, India, US, and all around the world.
Amazing, amazing. There you go, listeners. I'll have both the links and the details mentioned in the show notes. So go connect with Patrick and also check out his book, Quite Ambition. And as we wrap up, and before that, I just want to land this for anyone feeling that end of year pressure, including myself. If you are listening during the holidays and your nervous system is basically doing parkour, you're not broken, my friend. You are human. This season can be joyful and heavy at the same time. And here's a takeaway that I am holding: achievement is not a personality, ambition is not a volume contest. Success without fulfillment turns into a treadmill. And quiet ambition is about calm confidence, integrity, and results that speak, while still protecting your mind and your life. Patrick, thank you. Thank you so much for bringing both the head and the heart today. This was really, really much needed. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. It was really a pleasure.
Amazing. And to all our listeners, if this episode hit, send it to that one friend or colleague or loved one who's doing great but looks exhausted. And for your New Year reset, try this question maybe. What would success look like if it didn't require me to abandon myself? Until then, Merry Christmas if you celebrate, Happy Holidays, and a grounded, peaceful New Year to you with goals that actually feel like yours. I'm Sana, and this is Healthy Mind, Healthy Life. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.